A huge country by European standards, Sweden is a wild, friendly, and wonderful place with a population density of only 57 people per square mile. Smack dab in the middle of Sweden, you'll find the beautiful region of Jämtland. Often referred to as the lungs of Europe, Jämtland is the southern gate to the Sami country, where the people have been herding reindeer for centuries. It's also an outdoor lover's paradise, with mountains, rich forests, and endless foraging opportunities, and more muskox, reindeer, Arctic fox, and wolverine than people. Endless summer days, vast wilderness, and unrivaled wildcrafting. This week on Epic Trails, we're visiting Jämtland, Sweden. I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails. Jämtland, Sweden is one of the outdoor meccas of Europe. The land is full of natural beauty, and with 24 hours of daylight during the summer months, the forests simply burst with life. While many people think of Sweden as being flat, there are mountains and spectacular waterfalls, as rivers carve their way through the lush countryside to reach the sea. In Jämtland, awe-inspiring landscapes are never far away. With such a huge amount of pristine wilderness to be found in all directions, there are endless opportunities for outdoor adventure. And so, to kick off my trip, I'm meeting up with Karin to get a lay of the land from the top of Araskutan, one of the country's most popular mountains.
So you can see all the downhill routes on that side.
That's for all the mountain biking?
But you're also going to see some that we're going to go over also.
Yeah.
So it's,
That looks like a blast.
Karin explains that where we see a wonderful wilderness playground for the Sami people, this has been a place of work and home for generations. And so, as we explore the area, we need to show respect for the land, avoid interfering with the wildlife, and leave no trace of our passing.
It's so nice.
So now we are at the 63rd latitude, so it's rather high up in the world, and this is Jämtland, a region that in Sweden is in the middle of the country. So this is a place where we have beautiful seasons and a lot to offer to guests that would like to come here. All of us that lives here, we are of course very proud of where we live, and it's a place where we love our nature, we love our people, and we love our culture. And we have a beautiful area to hike, and also of course a lot of other activities like foraging, biking, whatever you would like to see.
So what's the story with this, the red hut?
Oh, that's a waffle place. Yeah.
That's the Waffle House.
So that's where we go when we're going to get the best waffles.
Sadly, there's no time for waffles, because Karin and I are setting off on a backpacking adventure. And joining us, we've got Martin, a local guide and chef. We're heading deep into the wilderness and into the hills to a well-known backcountry lodge.
Today we're heading to Lunderstugan.
Lunderstugan?
Yes, we're going through the forest and up to the mountains.
Ah, sounds awesome. Beautiful day, ready to get after it.
Even though this is only my first full day in Sweden, I can already say that Swedes are some of the most kind and welcoming people on the planet. Which is why I'm not surprised that one of the most important Swedish customs revolves around making time for friends.
Yeah, I think we're getting ready for some lunch. Or what do you think?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about this fika.
Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna miss it. Yes.
Oh, I can't.
Eat, right?
Is it time?
Yeah.
It's time for fika?
Yeah.
My first
Let's
one.
bring it.
I am so excited. I got to experience this Swedish tradition. Thanks for bringing the fresh coffee.
Yeah.
It's great to get the chocolates.
Do you want some?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Well, it hits the spot when you're on the trail.
Fika is a daily ritual that any true Swede will never miss. It's an important part of their culture, which involves taking a break and enjoying the company of friends and colleagues while sharing a cup of coffee and something to eat.
So we're making our way back to a mountain cabin in the woods tonight. We're hiking through this spectacular mountain countryside, and the fall colors are going crazy. And I'm absolutely loving it. Can't wait to spend the night off in the back country here tonight.
We continue our way up into the mountains, and the forest bursts with color around us. One of the coolest things about Sweden is that they have a significant number of well-maintained backcountry huts for backpackers and skiers to enjoy throughout the year. And so, as a great first day of exploring comes to an end, we relax, refuel, and prepare ourselves for another day of adventure in Jämtland's spectacular backcountry.
Hello, thank you so much. Oh, this was fantastic. I'd love to return.
It's a special time of year here in Sweden, and not just because of the beautiful fall colors. We are heading north into the land of the Sami people, who are hard at work. The Sami are reindeer herders, and their life is uniquely tied to the hundreds of thousands of reindeer that roam northern Sweden.
I'm super excited about today. I have a really unique opportunity to meet up with Per-Erik, and he is from the Sami people. The Sami are the native people, the indigenous people of the region. And something that's happening right now is they are herding and marking the reindeer calves. So I am really excited about this. It's gonna be cool. I think I'm gonna get a chance to jump in the pen with Per-Erik. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So right now you're looking for a calf that doesn't have a marked, like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to
Mark
wrestle it and then mark it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, and you say that they can't really feel the
No,
marking.
they don't feel pain.
Really?
They can feel it.
Yeah, because the calf was very calm.
Yeah, very calm. Yeah.
I have a new appreciation for how much the land and all that lives on it means to the Sami people. It's easy to see how a growth in tourism could impact their way of life. As visitors, it's our responsibility to show the land, animals, and Sami people the utmost respect.
This is just a wild experience. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite like it, but to be in the pen with Per-Erik and all these reindeers, man, this is special.
With the calves marked and the reindeer released back into the wild to fend for themselves through the winter, Karin, Martin, and I head back on the trail. One of the things I'm quickly learning in Sweden is just how central the earth is to life here. Everyone loves being outside, breathing fresh air, and interacting with nature. It's a cool, fresh, crisp, and vibrant landscape.
Cold.
That is so good.
Yeah.
So there's nothing in the water that would contaminate it here?
No, not while it's this cold and flowing.
Yeah.
If there is a lot of reindeer or a lot of other animals and very dry in the summer, it might be.
But you think it's safe?
Yeah. Now.
All right, I'm trusting you.
Yeah, I'm
my
drinking.
intestines.
Yeah, I'm drinking all I can here.
We continue on our way to meet the newest members of our hiking team, Ulis and Frost.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Eric.
Ullis.
Ulis, nice to meet you.
This is Frost.
Frost. Hello, Frost. How friendly is Frost?
He doesn't like being pet by people he doesn't know very much.
Okay.
But he's fine hanging around.
Well, want to join us for fika?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Not surprisingly, foraging is a way of life in Jämtland, and the chanterelles are a prized possession. With Chef Martin on the job, our midday snack is a pure delicacy. But we're not done there, because Ulla says she has another local treat to share with me.
Are you ready to try a traditional Swedish drink?
I'm a little nervous, but yes, I'm ready.
It's an old famous drink.
Oh,
Would you
yeah?
like me to try first?
I think that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
You still seem to be alive.
Yeah, it's medicine.
What is it?
Could you give it a guess? What do you think it tastes like?
Well, there's definitely alcohol in it. Beyond that,
Want to know the part?
yeah.
It's the anal glands.
What?
Yeah.
Anal glands of beaver.
Yeah.
You can have it back.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No wonder.
It's easy to see why Jämtland is called the lungs of Europe. The air is clean, and the wilderness is healthy and filled with life. I'm pretty lucky to experience this place with people that love the outdoors as much as I do. Because for me, the only thing better than being outside is getting to share those times with friends. As we set up camp for the night, we're joined by Boo Boo, a local legend who has more than a few stories about the area and is always happy to share them.
Stockholm have done measurement for 30 years right on top of Åreskutan, the mountain. And they have measured the cleanest air in the world many times.
Really?
Yeah, so it's not a coincidence that people started to come here from the cities where they had bad air, you know, in those times, those days they were firing coal everywhere. And so, and they had trouble with the asthma and things. And when they came here, they realized, I feel much better here.
Yeah.
And those are called, in Swedish, luftgäster, air guests. They built the cable car, the small
It's
train.
always fascinating to hear from someone who is so knowledgeable and passionate about their homeland. And what better way to hear those stories than around a campfire deep in the backcountry? As the sun begins to set on our final night in the backcountry, I'm a little worried that Boo Boo will pull out another traditional drink for me to sample. But more so, I'm sad at the thought of our little fellowship disbanding. In just a couple of days, I've made great new friends, discovered a remarkable part of our natural world, and learned a lot about the Swedish way of life.
I'm surprised by the mountains and the fall colors and just like the natural environment.
Back in the town of Åre, it's time to change the pace a little. And so I'm meeting up with professional athletes Jackie and Reina. The two make their living competing in ski competitions all over the world. But in the summer months, they take advantage of the incredible terrain in Jämtland to stay fit and train through mountain biking. Åre is home to some of the best mountain biking trails around. And the trails here range from mellow cross-country to steep, fast, and muddy downhill. I know I'm going to need to bring my A game in order to keep up with this dynamic duo.
So Åre as a destination for mountain biking is world class, I think. I've been around a few places. We have a great bike park, a lot of and a pretty dedicated bike club that builds trails out in the woods. And what I think makes it really special is that we have these really long tours where you can go out to like mountain cabins, and so not just a little loop. And the last few years, there's also been built much more towards entry level and beginners, easier trails. So it's really cool to see the development over the years. The cross country is developing pretty rapidly right now, and we have a ton of old hiking trails you can use. As a bike destination, it's going to be as good as a winter destination eventually.
That's the moon. Yeah, I mean, down from the road here to Labrador it's 5 minutes on the road. Yeah, let's go down to the road. The hiking trail don't go all the way through.
Åre has what I think is the biggest downhill park in Scandinavia. So we have a lot of Norwegians coming in here and a lot of people from down south. So it's pretty great. What we get going for us is, of course, the high alpine terrain. You can take the tram right up and get almost 1,000 vertical meters riding down. So that's pretty cool.
With a few flowy sections under our belt, I find myself following the pair to some of the harder trails that I know will test my skills. But as they say, no pain, no gain. And I have my sights set on making some real gains today.
No! You okay? Yeah. Slick. Yeah, good job.
What makes Åre special to me, I think it's the people that are here. Everyone is like kind of active outdoors. They when you ask someone what they do, you don't expect to hear what they do for a profession. You ask, what are you doing in your spare time, basically. That's kind of a hidden message in that. So it seems like people here prioritize their spare time and their outdoor activities more than anything else. And that's the type of place I want to live in.
A little beaten and a little bruised, I'm happy to swap my mountain bike for hiking boots once again. I'm even happier knowing that we're on our way to meet Chef Lena Flatten, who is well known for her wildcraft.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Eric.
Fine, how are you?
Nice
Lena,
to meet
nice
you.
to meet you. Hi.
Okay.
So, you're representing tea?
Absolutely. Wow, this looks
Yeah.
lovely here.
Yeah, it's the shaga tea.
You have shaga tea?
Yeah,
What
exactly.
is that?
It's made from the birch.
Like the bark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lumps on the verge.
Yeah. So, cup for you.
Oh, thank you. I just met up with Lena. She's a local chef, and I'm really excited about today. Gonna get to do some fishing here on the lake, and we're gonna go forage. Then we're gonna make some amazing meals based on what we find and what we catch. Yeah, what are we looking for today?
So now we will look for the autumn mushrooms.
Autumn
And it's-
mushrooms.
Yeah, and it's more like canterels now.
Chanterelles?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm really excited to see some of those in the wild. Yeah, so I see mushrooms everywhere out here,
Yeah.
but you're being very selective. You're
Yeah,
walking by most of them. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for, first of all, the trees. So when I know we have the birch, this one is the birch mushroom.
That's the birch
Yeah.
mushroom.
It's an old one,
Okay.
but you see also the tree
Yeah.
is here, and then you know that this is perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a little bit broke there but this one is so nice. So
That'd be
good,
nice for dinner.
Good job.
Yeah. Awesome.
So here, look at the trees.
Yeah. What about right here?
Yeah,
Is this a good one?
it's a really good one.
Oh, yeah? A really good one.
You see, it's
yeah.
growing, yeah, and it's a big one. And you see why we don't cut it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can get extra
Yeah,
mushroom
you get light.
Yeah.
Having found all the fungi we'll need for our meal, it's time to catch some fish. Now, I wish I could say that I was a highly skilled angler, but the truth of the matter is, I'll be happy hooking into anything, as long as it isn't my own leg.
Should I get in first?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Just hold the boat.
You hold the boat for me.
Yeah.
Graceful as a swan.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know.
The good news is that Lena says the lakes in the area hold lots of trout, including some real monsters. And because the lakes receive so little fishing pressure, even I should be able to catch us some dinner.
What does it mean to you, and why is it important to you? Having like the natural connection with your food like this.
Yeah, like this fish now is gonna taste much better
Yeah.
because you caught it yourself.
Yeah.
So you will eat it with respect. So this one we're gonna put it in some water and some salt,
Yeah.
and we're gonna make a nice stock for the soup.
Yeah.
And the other one we're just gonna grill it directly on the fire.
Get some fillets.
Yes. I do the 2 first, and you do the other 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
The amount of work that you've put
Yeah,
into
yeah.
all the rest of it, that'd be fair. I feel like my experiences here in Sweden have been really diverse. Being able to be on the mountains and in the reindeer pens with Peninsula, and then here just in the countryside having the most fantastic culinary experiences of my life. This has been so cool out here. And if you look around, it doesn't really get much more epic than this.
To say that Sweden and Jämtland has been full of surprises would be a real understatement. The landscape is unlike anything I've seen, and the people are deeply connected with the outdoors. One of the biggest examples of that profound connection has been through food. And so, as I reflect back on my time in Sweden, while sharing one of the best meals of my life, I can't help but be thankful. And not just for this trip, but for the incredible outdoor playgrounds that can be found throughout our amazing world. Tucked away on the western edge of Great Britain, there's a rugged and mysterious country rising dramatically out of the Irish Sea. It's a remote land, born of ancient Celtic myths, of monsters and fairies, and most notably, a red dragon, so tied to the country's identity, it's displayed proudly on the national flag. Known for its picturesque countryside, Wales is a hiker's dream come true. And this week on Epic Trails, we'll be exploring the country's coastal path, an 870-mile trail with some of the most dramatic coastline on the planet. I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails. One of the first things I notice as I arrive in Wales is how green it is. This is a cool, lush land with a rugged beauty all its own. In the south, the coastline is a string of rocky cliffs that rise dramatically out of the Irish Sea. And in the north, white sand beaches give way to the misty mountain peaks of Snowdonia. For centuries, the Welsh people have made a good life along this coast, where iconic lighthouses stand proudly over azure blue waters. My journey starts in the south on the Gower Peninsula. There's so much to see, it's hard to know where to begin. So Dan, my hiking guide, and I are meeting up with local coast-steering expert Peter Savage.
So we're going to be going down to a nice little secret venue of ours, hidden on the Gower coast. We're going to be doing a bit of climbing, a bit of jumping off stuff, a lot of swimming. Hopefully we'll see some seals, some porpoise. We're going to have a great time down there. So coast steering is a mix of activities, from swimming, from climbing, most importantly jumping off stuff and having a good time. Wales was the place of which it was founded and discovered, and so it's kind of nice to bring it back to its birth roots, really. The Welsh coastline is absolutely stunning. Most of it's natural forming. Having such vast tidal ranges, we can really play with it and use it to our advantage.
Coast steering is not for the faint of heart. The sport takes hiking, climbing, free diving, and swimming, and throws them all into one ridiculously exciting experience. As Dan, Peter, and I explore our way along the Gower coast, we're basically focused on just finding the most fun rock formations to jump off of. Basically, it's a hell of a good time. Each new spot is another opportunity to show off what we can do, and we all cheer each other on as we hurl our bodies through space and into the cold waters below.
I just got initiated into my first coast steering experience, jumping off the cliffs here and into the Atlantic. It's been a pretty amazing experience. So we've got more to go. This is a rigorous physical experience, but it's a hell of a good time.
Once we were all good and warmed up, Peter offered to show us a much more intimidating and heart-pounding experience. I'm easily talked into making poor life choices. So, the three of us scramble up the cliff face to a jump spot that makes me question my own judgment.
Always looks so much higher up here, doesn't it?
It does look pretty high.
It's okay to be nervous, I'm nervous as well.
Definitely looks pretty high.
Yeah. Godspeed to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cross your legs to land.
Yeah.
Nice easy down.
Sweet.
Good luck.
3, 2, 1. Yeah!
With the sun low on the horizon and a thrilling day of exploration coming to an end, I soak up the last moments of my first coast steering experience.
What is it? Just tea?
Warm Ribena.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Squash, like cordial?
Like, yeah, like a blackcurrant cordial.
Like a thick, syrupy cordial. It warms you up.
Good for the soul.
I baked you some Welsh cakes.
Brilliant.
The story goes in Wales that everyone's mum makes the best Welsh cakes, but the truth is my mother actually makes the best Welsh cakes.
Well, it's not.
So-
Mine kind of makes the best Welsh cakes.
No, that's not what my mum said.
Well, these are the
You're allowed
best
on
Welsh
these,
cakes
you're-
I've ever had.
Exactly. I'll tell my mother.
What a perfect way to start my adventure here in Wales. But I know this is just the beginning. And as we make our way back up the cliff, I'm starting to get excited about hitting the trails and hiking my way along the coast of this unbelievably beautiful country. The next morning, Dan and I leave our campsite in Pembrokeshire and start our hike on the coastal path of Wales.
Okay, so Eric, it's one of my favourite places on the coastal path of Wales. Just over our shoulder we have St Non's Chapel.
Yeah.
It goes back to the 6th century, and that is the birthplace of St David, who is our patron saint of Wales.
Oh, really?
So big historic importance.
Very cool. Well, pretty amazing spot to be.
It's not a bad place to come from, is it?
Yeah.
The coastal path of Wales opened in 2012 and is the world's first uninterrupted trail along any national coast. This fact alone makes it a must-see destination. But on top of all that, you have the incredible views this trail provides.
These cliffs here are amazing.
Beautiful, look at that, where that rock is.
That's a huge rock, jeez. It's massive.
This is Porthclais. As you can see, it is low tide right now.
Yeah.
So where we've come from in Gower, that's one of the biggest tidal ranges in the world. I think it's second best.
Yeah.
Not as big here, but it is definitely creates like a bit of a dramatic scene. So, but in a few hours, towards 7 o'clock when it's high tide today, this will be complete water.
That's wild. It kind of blows my mind that the tides would actually come down as far as they are to just, and then come up all the way back and fill it.
Yeah,
that whole space.
Yeah, it goes right back. And sometimes when you stood here, you can literally see it just filling right up. So, Eric.
Yeah.
I've got you a little treat, as you can see. A room with a view. The
That
penthouse.
looks spectacular.
Expense. Obviously, VIP treatment for you.
No more roughing it. I love it.
You can put your feet up for a lovely day on the coastal path. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's see what we got.
Here's your penthouse.
Oh, wow. That looks
Check it out.
awesome.
We call this glamping.
Yeah, that looks luxury.
So after every good coastal path hike in Wales, you've got to obviously try a bit of a local drink, just to say cheers for the adventure you just had. So this is a local spiced rum.
Okay.
Barty the rum. It's made from seaweed. And do you remember what I told you? How to say cheers in Welsh?
Don't test me on the...
I'll let you off. You don't really speak Welsh now,
I don't.
So I'll let you off. Okay, so Iechyd da.
Iechyd da.
Spoken like a true Welshman. That means good health.
Iechyd da.
So Iechyd da, my friends.
All right.
Cheers.
Early to rise after a very restful sleep, I'm excited for the next adventure.
Hi Eric,
How's it going, Martin?
Hey.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. You ready for some kayaking?
Absolutely ready. Yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Get a different look at the coast.
Yeah. This is going to be a great alternative viewpoint of the coastal trail.
So we're just over here at St Justinian's lifeboat station.
Okay.
And between us and Ramsey Island is a stretch of water called Ramsey Sound.
Yeah.
And it's famous for its tidal streams. So the current flows at about 8 knots through this bit of water.
Really? So we're going to have
in a few hours.
Spicy little adventure out there?
Well, potentially.
Right on, I'm excited.
And the sun's coming out.
Yeah, this is perfect. Perfect right now.
Paddling in Pembrokeshire is world class and unique because not only do we have these amazing tidal streams and currents, we have the Atlantic swell as well, giving us big waves. So we kind of get a combination of conditions that you get elsewhere in the UK and beyond. And alongside that, we have the amazing coastline, with scenery and incredible wildlife. Most days we'll see seals, we regularly see porpoise, occasionally dolphins, even whales out here just off the coast. So it's a pretty special place. I don't know anywhere else like it in the world really for sea kayaking.
It's easy to see why the sea kayaking off the coast of Wales is considered world class. There are endless coves and inlets for us to explore. and all of them seem to be teeming with wildlife. Seals and dolphins join us in the pristine waters, and a series of green and rocky islands provide a stunning backdrop. But this paddle is about more than just taking in the serene beauty. There are some challenging tidal rapids ahead, and I'm excited to dive in. My kayak guide Martin is leading me towards a toothy set of tidal rapids known as the Bitches. But the name isn't as derogatory as it sounds, as it actually refers to the female seals here who use this area as their birthing grounds.
You can always use a little backward stroke just to tweak your angle if you need to. Nice, and then back on the power once you've got the angle.
Yeah, that was fun. Very
Fancy
cool.
another go at that?
Yeah, let's go in and swing around.
Okay, we'll try that.
Yeah,
so let's
yeah.
go in a little bit higher. So take your time, even if you lose all your speed, get that angle right. So you want to be almost paddling up the eddy line, so you're pointing right upstream.
Yeah, yeah.
And then those last couple of strokes need to be good ones, so don't panic and go for power. Keep them wide. So set your angle, go on, bring it round. Oops. Are you out? Just grab the back of my boat. Grab the back of mine. It's all right, hang on to that. We'll just get you in the eddy. I'm just going to flip your boat over. Keep holding on. You got a good grip on there? Use that leg and your arms to roll up onto the boat. Nice. And then your other leg in. You recovered the first time and then you went the other way, didn't you?
Martin was initiating me here in what's known as the Bitches, and it's a playful rock feature that has quite a bit of rapids going on. I handled it for a while, but Martin kept giving me progressively more challenging tasks, and ultimately I totally dunked it. So that was all part of the fun. Little bit of an adrenaline spike here as I went under, but Martin rescued me. I feel happy. Just having a good old time out here.
After my unexpected plunge into the Irish Sea, Martin has a surprise to lift my spirits.
Oh, check that out. Put that one in there. That's a good size. Lovely. So should we paddle ashore?
Yeah,
and,
are we gonna go cook this up?
I reckon, yeah.
Oh, no way. All right.
A day earlier, Martin had set a lobster trap in one of his favorite coves in hopes of scoring us an ultra-fresh seafood dinner. Martin is a veteran of the sea, and like the great outdoor Welshman that he is, he came prepared with his fire kit and cook set. After a physically and mentally exhausting day of sea kayaking, I can't think of a better way to end the day than with a fresh lobster cookout.
No, that's amazing. Straight out of the sea.
Doesn't get better than that,
It does not get better than that.
Myself.
Quite the day.
The next morning, I'm eager to get back on the trail, so I reconnect with Dan and we set out on a hike to check out some of the local history. Over 1,000 years ago, the Pembrokeshire coast was home to pirates and their smuggling operations. The section of the coastal path that we're on is particularly interesting. During the 6th century, an Irish abbot named Gowan evaded the pirates by hiding amongst the rocks and praying for God to save him. Surviving the ordeal, the man dedicated himself to serving God, and soon thereafter set up a secluded hermitage in the cove where he found shelter. He became known as St. Gowan, and about 900 years later, St. Gowan's Chapel was built on the same spot where he had escaped the pirates. Dan tells me that this chapel was built into the limestone rocks, and, according to legend, the remains of St. Gowan himself are buried under the altar. It's a charming scene, and it's hard to believe that the room we're standing in is over 700 years old. Looking back on a story like this really puts things into perspective. We leave the chapel and continue to work our way north along the coastal path. So far, every step of the way has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what adventure lies ahead. The coastal path of Wales takes Dan and I towards the northern end of the country. Here, the rocky bluffs of the south are replaced by sandy beaches and towering mountains. It's cold and stormy as we make our way. But despite the weather, the beauty cannot be denied. And after spending so many days on trails atop the cliffs, it's nice to be down by the water, amongst the tidal pools and algae-covered rocks.
It's really cool to see how the scenery's changed here in the north. Mountains coming up out of the sea. Yeah, it's so pretty.
Yeah, Portsnevin and this Peninsula coastline is, yeah, it's a really beautiful, dramatic coast.
The coastal path of Wales is so incredibly varied and beautiful. It really does feel like you get to experience the best of many different worlds just by following one unbroken trail. Hiking along the water, it's hard to believe that we're still in the same, relatively small country that we started our adventure in only a few short days ago. As we pass an iconic lighthouse at the southeastern tip of Anglesey, I realize how lucky I am to share this experience with Dan. Hiking with him makes me feel connected to the rugged spirit of the Welsh people. After the lighthouse, we head inland for a scramble up one of the mountains that sits at the doorstep of Snowdonia. Although it's a pretty intense hike to the top, the mind-blowing views make it worth every rugged step. And I can't imagine a better place to soak up the Welsh countryside. We descend to the town below, and although we are near the northernmost point of the coastal path, the adventure is still not over. I say goodbye to Dan and turn my attention to the sea for one last hit of Welsh-inspired adrenaline.
I just met up with Sam of Gaia Adventures, and we're gonna do a little bit of sea cliff climbing today, capping the day off with camping on a portaledge. So I'm super excited. There's some classic climbing around here in Wales. I've never done any climbing over the sea, and so I'm super excited to get an experienced guide out here showing me the ropes here in Wales.
Sam has been climbing these sea cliffs for years, honing his skills on what is considered some of the most mentally challenging terrain in the world.
Okay, you're on belay. You can climb when you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna take this anchor down.
Oh, look at that. Silky. That's like 514 footwork right there.
Oh, stop it.
It's my first time climbing over the water, so Sam is easing me into it, setting me up on a pretty straightforward route. There really is nothing like an easy climb in a beautiful place, where your mind is free from fear and you can simply enjoy the moment and absorb your surroundings. And although I'm definitely not the world's greatest climber, it's a truly empowering experience. I love the feeling of the sun on my back, the rock in my hands, and the energy of the ocean churning beneath me.
Yeah, this is so unique. So beautiful with the sunlight coming in. Man, special.
Nice. Be nice just to have a couple of thousand meters of that, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Keep going.
So cruiser. Beautiful though.
Nice.
That was rad.
Yeah, you did great.
Beautiful, thank you.
Nice climbing up that corner.
So we're gonna sleep over here.
Yeah, you up for it?
Yeah. It's gonna be a unique evening. I've never done this before, so it's a day full of firsts. And yeah, I mean, just with the sun setting right out there and the sound of the crashing waves, I couldn't ask for a better place to spend the night tonight. Pretty excited.
The only thing keeping us from falling into the crashing waves below is a piece of canvas pulled over a metal frame. As we settle in for the night, I can't help but think how fortunate I am. To explore magical landscapes like the coast of Wales is a true gift. And to be able to share the experience with amazing people who love their land is a true privilege. And so, as I watch the sun set on my incredible Welsh adventure, I give a heartfelt thanks for all this land has shown me, and for the great friends I've made along the way. Rising out of the Atlantic Ocean off of Canada's eastern coast is the rugged and picturesque island of Newfoundland. With over 42,000 square miles of untouched wilderness, a majestic coastline, and lively culture, Newfoundland and Labrador is an explorer's paradise. For outdoor lovers, one of the best ways to discover the province is along the East Coast Trail, a 190-mile-long trail that connects civilization with wilderness while passing through breathtaking natural wonders. Dramatic views, crashing waves, and a vibrant culture. This week on Epic Trails, we're exploring Newfoundland and Labrador's East Coast Trail. I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails. Stretching north and south from the provincial capital of St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador's East Coast Trail runs 190 miles along the Avalon Peninsula and some of the most dramatic coastline in the world. With its stunning waterfalls, massive cliffs, crashing waves, and lush green forests, it's without a doubt one of the most beautiful trails on the planet.
Just arrived in Newfoundland and setting off on the East Coast Trail. This is a whole new part of the world for me. I've never been out this way, and just super excited to see what this trail has to offer, and really just this whole part of the world has to offer.
The East Coast Trail was formed in May 1994. And by that time it had opened about 190 kilometers of trail. Initially, the East Coast Trail was viewed as an impossible dream by many. We had strong vision, even stronger commitment and dedication, and through the help of many very dedicated and skilled volunteers and good partnerships, we are here today. We've delivered over 300 kilometers of trail. What we've done is we've built a trail that's giving people immediate and ready access to our coastline.
The trail has been a work in progress over the last few decades, making it one of the newer trail systems around. And what I can tell you is that my first taste of the footpath is already blowing my mind.
We have a coastline that's second to none in the world. We've combined the raw natural beauty of the East Coast Trail with unique and historic communities, our culture, our history, and our people. And that differentiates us from the rest of the world. And the experience you have along the way, not only on the trail, but basically sort of once you engage with our people and communities, is an experience well worth the journey here to have.
Finishing up a great first day of hiking, I head down to the small town of Ferryland to meet up with Kelsey, a local musician.
You played one song earlier with the tribute.
The tribute, yeah.
Would you be willing to play that again?
Yeah, of course. Well, it was just a year ago today I left my Emerald Isle for the lovely shores of Newfoundland. I've traveled many miles. Well, the people there, they well. I grew up with music around me from the day I was born, and my grandfather was a really good singer, so growing up we would go to his house and we would just sit and listen to him sing. And for me, that was a big part of growing up, so then that became a big part of who I am. Pine-clad hills and her mountains glen, to her shores of shingle and sand. God bless. What makes Ferryland the most special to me is the proximity to the ocean. It's something I've lived with most of my life, and it's just the most oddly comforting thing to be on the edge here. The hospitality, just the feeling of home that is kind of universal and I guess integral to the place. that's another one of my favorite things about here.
As you are, we love you, Newfoundland.
So I'm learning a little bit about the culture of music and how that influences life here in Newfoundland. So I'm at the Sullivan Songhouse and getting to participate in a kitchen party. So there's about 25, 30 people that are all just singing and dancing away. So I'm getting initiated into the Newfoundland culture here with song and dance. So having a good old time.
There was no such thing as a bus.
So the concept of a kitchen party is basically a family, a group of friends, even like a local or whoever just might happen to be around will come to your house for a visit. They could have a cup of tea or a drink or something like that. And you pretty much sit around the kitchen and you share a story, you share a song.
And at the end of the day,
the energy inside is warm and inviting, and the locals are more than happy to squeeze everyone in. Thankfully, even with the tight quarters, no one seemed to mind my truly terrible singing voice, which for your sake ended up on the cutting room floor.
it is my belief, for instant relief, that a hog is the best cure of all.
I'm at Cape Spear, the most easterly point in North America. So I'm here to watch the sunrise. We're gonna get the first bit of sunlight here that's gonna touch land. So I'm pretty excited to actually catch sunrise here before you. Should be beautiful.
After watching the sunrise, I return to town and meet up with the guys from Ocean Quest. They've agreed to deliver me to one of the most remote portions of the East Coast Trail. Hiking a trail will always be my favorite way to explore new lands. But seeing this amazing coastline by boat is something I will never forget. It gives me a totally different perspective on the land, and one that's impossible to grasp from atop the cliffs. The waterfalls are everywhere. And not just light trickles of water splashing gently into the calm sea. These are powerful roaring falls that plunge hundreds of feet into the ocean below.
We're trying to exit the boat so that we can go hiking today. We got 20 kilometers to hike, but with the swells, it's a little spicy actually getting off the boat. So we're trying to find the right spot to do it without us dumping into the water, getting pulled off by a wave, or something worse, I don't know. Take it off? Right, go for it.
My celebration for successfully disembarking is short-lived, as I realize, much to my dismay, that I'm actually on an island. And so I gracefully hop back into the boat, and we'll just try again further along. No big deal.
Oh, geez, that boat came up. Yep, we're good. Oh man, that was so intense. We just had to get off the boat while the waves are crashing. That was super intense. And we couldn't have done it in a more beautiful and iconic spot. We're at the spout. There's this waterfall coming down. Spout shooting 15 meters into the air. It feels kind of insane, but loving it. And we got 18 kilometers to hike back for this leg of the East Coast Trail. So super excited about today, but man, couldn't have started with a spicier start to the day.
The region receives a lot of precipitation throughout the year, so when it's not frozen over by winter, the land is gushing with water. For each mile of the trail, you can expect to encounter dozens of waterfalls. and there are countless streams and creeks to cross along the way.
So the Ocean Quest boat dropped me off down there at the spout. You can kind of see it erupting every 15 seconds or so. It's about 2.5 kilometers away, and I've got a pretty big day ahead of me. Got to do 18 kilometers of coastline to get up to the next cove and the next point for me to have an overnight. Got a big day ahead of me, but looking forward to it. This coastline is stunning, so I'm just loving it out here. Well, you'd think a coastal trail would be pretty flat. Well, this one's got a lot of ruggedness to it. So even though it's coastal, it's still doing a lot of up and down. So we just came to one of the high points, and there's a spectacular view here, pretty high up on the cliffs, but it's gorgeous up here. Gotta work hard for it though.
This section of the East Coast Trail has been one of the best hikes I can remember. And as I leave the forest behind and move across an expansive headland, I can only marvel at the beauty and the diversity of the terrain that I've seen in such a short time.
Well, it's been a super long day on the trail. I'm feeling utterly spent and worked. Can't say anything more about this trail. It's been so beautiful and gorgeous, and today was just utterly spectacular. So despite the fact that I'm tired and ready for a hot meal, I am gonna enjoy this final bit down to town.
With the new day, I'm excited to see a new section of the East Coast Trail. And so this morning, I'm meeting up with Ed Delaney to check out the Berry Head Arch, one of the most iconic features along Newfoundland's coastline. Ed is one of the managers of the East Coast Trail, and he's overseen a lot of its construction. What he's helped create is a beautiful and well-maintained trail that provides incredible access to a raw and rugged wilderness. This is one of the more weathered sections that I've encountered so far, and it's great to get down and dirty on these sections of wild trail.
So I'm at one of the really spectacular places along the East Coast Trail. We're at Berry Arch, and this is truly something that shows off the rugged beauty of the East Coast Trail. So we got to hike on top of it and stand on top of this wild feature, and that's a pretty wild experience, just being able to be out over the ocean on this arch. This is an incredible place. I am loving it here on the East Coast Trail.
Staying in a storage container tonight, but it looks a lot sweeter than a storage container. Perfect place to stay on the trail.
Oh baby, this is the life.
The next day, I head off once again into the woods with Ed Delaney. We're following a trail building crew to see firsthand what goes into building the East Coast Trail.
Right now we have 300 kilometers of trail starting here in Portugal Cove and going north to Cape St. Francis down to Cap of Hayden. That's 300 kilometers that we consider finished trail. A lot of the areas that we build trail is fairly remote away from the community. So the first couple of kilometers from a community, it's not too hard getting materials, but as you get further out, we do have problems. Physical manpower is the way we go. We don't use ATVs or machinery because of the damage that it does to our soils and our terrain. I would estimate that within 5 years, if we get this piece done that we're close on to finishing now this fall, we got another 120. We should be probably within the vicinity of 5 years completing it into capacity. Ideally, when the trail is finished, we're going to be around 420, 440 kilometers from Topsail Beach down to Trepassey.
Although it's been really cool to see a part of the trail come to life, there's a lot more to the East Coast Trail to explore. And so I've met up with Aaron O'Brien to explore another beautiful section of the East Coast Trail. Our mission is to camp on Flamberhead, a headland known for its rocky beauty. We've got a ways to go, so we need to move quickly down the stunning coastline. The journey is beautiful, but as the sun drops to the horizon, we're still a ways from our destination. We continue on in the darkness, comforted by the fact that we have everything we need on our backs. Before long, we find our spot, set up camp, and look forward to doing it all again tomorrow. I wake up to the gray and the cold. It's the kind of morning where you don't want to get out of your sleeping bag. But a good cup of camp coffee gets me perked up, and in no time, I'm ready to hit the trail once again. Despite the gray weather, the world around us is still so beautiful. The views are incredible, and I take in as much of it as I can as we hike the last leg of my East Coast Trail adventure. I've put in a lot of miles this week here on the Avalon Peninsula, and I'm sad to be nearing the end. But even though the hike is over, I've still got one more adventure to look forward to. It's my birthday today, and I've decided to celebrate by heading out on the water with the Ocean Quest crew, and we are on the hunt for fresh scallops.
All right, here we go. There it is. May all your ups and downs be under the sea, gentlemen. Go get them, boys.
The seas off Newfoundland are crystal clear, and divers from all over the world come here to explore the many well-preserved shipwrecks that can be found beneath the waves. But today, Johnny and Rick are diving for live scallops on the ocean floor. They have to go down about 80 feet, and the water here is frigid, and so it requires some real technical skill to get their hands on these tasty treats.
All right, bring her up. Oh, it's like a birthday present. Whoa! Holy moly! Goodness gracious! Oh, I think you did good, boys. I'll give you a hug, but I don't want to. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Voila! Whoa! See the fresh? Fresh as fresh can be.
Oh yeah, it's as good as it gets. Sweet, eh?
That's incredible. Oh man.
All the Newfoundlanders I've met are fun, generous, and a bit quirky. So I really should have expected the unique birthday cake that Rick and Johnny surprised me with.
There you go, man. Happy birthday.
How did you find this down there? That's amazing. All right. Woo!
There it is, man. It's all yours.
That's all mine.
There you go. That's the way to do
Holy
it.
moly.
Huh?
That's amazing.
Newfoundland has got it all. An unbelievably beautiful terrain with a lyrical culture and a cuisine you'll never forget. What more could anyone ask for? With all that, it's truly one of the best trails I've ever hiked.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for the work, guys.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, man.
I can kiss the chef.
Or I won't.
Okay, just once.
Just once?
No, here's on the cheek.
Oh, that's amazing.
Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rick.